In a major victory for President Donald Trump, the House GOP, the Republican Party, and the taxpayers in particular, tonight, the U.S. House of Representatives has passed the budget blueprint that Donald Trump has laid down that calls for no taxes on tips, no taxes on Social Security, no taxes on overtime. We've got the details, so hang on, folks. We're going to get into all this in just 1 second. My name is Brian Trippett. I am your front porch conservative. Step on up to my electronic front porch and let's talk. Hi, folks. Brian Trippett here, the front porch conservative, and I was wondering if I could ask for your help with a few things. I have a social media channel on 2 different platforms. You can find me on YouTube simply by typing in Chatting on the Porch. You can also find me over on Rumble under my social media name, simply the Front Porch Conservative. Would you please do me the following favors? If you are not a subscriber to my channel, please subscribe on both YouTube and Rumble. Also, please hit the bell for notifications. I want to make sure you're always aware when new material is coming out, be it a video or a live stream. Also, while you're checking out the material, if you find something you like, please hit the thumbs up button on that video or live stream and leave a comment. Contrary to what you might think, those 2 little actions do a lot to help with the algorithm and boosts the attention that my channel gets. Also, please share the link around with your friends and let's see if they want to subscribe and become part of Fedora Nation. And with that, on to the video. We are just a little over 35 days into the second term of Donald John Trump as President of the United States, and already it's been a wild ride. But tonight may be a major milestone as far as Trump cementing his vision of what he wants to do with the federal government and the country going forward, as the House of Representatives passed a major piece of legislation which gets it one step closer to Donald Trump's desk. Let's go to thehill.com. We'll read a little bit and see what we've got to say about it all. Headline: House GOP adopts Trump budget after topsy-turvy night. Article by Michael Schnell and Emily Brooks. We have the following. Dateline, Washington, D.C. House Republicans adopted the budget resolution that will lay the foundation for enacting President Trump's legislative agenda Tuesday night, just minutes after they initially pulled the measure from the floor. The legislation, which provides a framework for Republican priorities on tax, border, and energy in, quote, one big beautiful bill, was approved in a 217-215 vote. It now heads to the Senate. It capped a wild evening in the House chamber that saw Republican leaders hold open an unrelated vote for more than an hour to buy time to win over the holdouts, announce they were then canceling a vote on the legislation, and then reverse course just 10 minutes later. The tally also marked a dramatic turnaround for Speaker Mike Johnson and House GOP leaders, who hours earlier were facing opposition to the measure from deficit hawks, skepticism among some of other hardliners, and apprehension from moderates concerned about potential slashes to social safety net measures. In the end, leadership flipped 3 conservative lawmakers who previously said they would vote against the resolution. Representatives Victoria Spartz, Indiana, Warren Davidson, Ohio, and Tim Burchett of Tennessee, accumulating enough support to get the measure over the finish line. Representative Thomas Massie, Republican of Kentucky, remained the lone GOP no vote. All right, let's talk about this for a few minutes. No doubt this is a major, major victory for President Donald J. Trump. He's been working for the longest time on the campaign trail and behind the scenes, and working along with his colleagues in the House and Senate in the Republican Party to try to get his vision for what he wants for the country to move forward. And for the longest time, there was a big question about whether this could even get through the House. So much so, in fact, that the Senate had already passed its budget resolution, but instead of doing it in one big, beautiful bill, Lindsey Graham, the chairman of the Senate Budget Committee, split it up into 2 parts, just in case the House couldn't get it done. So while this is a major victory for Donald Trump, You can make an argument it's an even bigger victory for Mike Johnson. Let's be honest. There are a lot of conservatives out there of varying stripes who are not happy with Johnson's leadership as the Speaker of the House. But then again, I'm willing to give him just a little bit of slack on the grounds that he has barely a majority to work with. Now, some will make the argument, hey, Nancy Pelosi only had a 2-seat majority and she got done everything she wanted to do. True, but not everyone can be Nancy Pelosi, thank God. But at any rate, for Johnson tonight, it has to be very satisfying to know that he was able to convince his fellow Republicans, along with a little bit of help from Donald Trump, that they should vote for this thing. Now, we'll take a moment and listen to some comments from the principal players involved. We'll start with the Speaker himself, Mike Johnson, as he was taking a victory lap, appropriately so, after this legislation passed. So with that, check out his comments.
We got it done. We had the requisite number of votes to move this process along, and now passing the budget resolution in the House that will go to the Senate. This is the first important step and then opening up the reconciliation process. We have a lot of hard work ahead of us, but we are going to deliver the America First agenda. We're going to deliver all of it, not just parts of it, and this is the first step in that process. So grateful to my colleagues who worked so hard to get us here, and to all the leaders of the chairs of the committees of jurisdiction. Chairman Arrington did a great job in the Budget Committee, and Chairman Smith on Ways and Means, and all of our colleagues who worked on this. So a lot of work yet to be done, but we're going to celebrate tonight, and we'll roll up our sleeves and get right back at it in the morning.
Well, I don't know about anybody else, but that is the look of a man who's not only happy, but relieved. If this budget resolution didn't get through the House of Representatives, there would be a lot of political hell to pay, and most of it would be with President Trump. Now, on the other side of it, you kind of got to wonder, why was it that Thomas Massie, Republican of Kentucky, was the lone holdout? Well, folks, let's hear it from his own words. He held a brief press availability before the final vote was taken tonight, so let's see why Massie in the end did wind up voting against this thing. And with that, check out the gentleman from Kentucky.
Yeah. Can you just talk to us? Are you still a no? Is there anything?
They convinced me in there. I'm a no.
Is there anything?
Look what, let me, their own numbers. If the Republican plan passes under the rosiest assumptions, which aren't even true, we're going to add $328 billion to the deficit this year. We're going to add $295 billion to the deficit the year after that, and $242 billion to the deficit after that, under the rosiest assumptions. Why would I vote for that?
Okay, fair point, and I can understand where Massie's coming from. We'll see how all this shakes out. Now, where does the bill go from here, you might ask? Well, very simple. In the end, what's going to happen from here is what's called good old-fashioned conference committee work. The House has one version of the budget blueprint. The Senate has the other. They'll have to reconcile their different visions together. So in the end, this is going to go to a conference committee to iron out the difference. Go back to each house. If it passes without any further changes, which under normal circumstances, when a bill comes out of conference committee, you cannot amend it. We're going to have an up or down vote, and we're going to find out if Mike Johnson can one more time hold the House GOP together, because he's going to get no help from Hakeem Jeffrey and the Democrats. That is very true. But on this night, for Mike Johnson, for Donald Trump, and maybe for the American taxpayer, we have reason to celebrate. But that's what I've got to say about it. What do you think? As we start to wrap up this video, please do me some favors as always. Number one, if you're not a subscriber to this channel, please do so. Number two, please hit the bell for notifications. I want to make sure you're always aware when new live streams and new videos are coming out. Number three, please make it a point to hit the thumbs up button and leave a comment. And finally, share the link around with your friends. My name is Brian Trippett. I am your Front Porch Conservative, and I'll see you next time.